I know this is unpopular advice. I say don't go live. Going live means you're going to attract the live audience right then. How lame is it if you go live and you have no audience? Other people can rewatch your live and see you have no audience. What's up, Mr. Jonathan Bannister?
Hello, Mr. You. How are you?
Dan, very good.
How long are you there for?
One more day. Oh, 2 more days, I think.
Overall been good?
Well, let's see. I met basically the CTO of Pakistan today.
Wow.
And we're talking about training up all these folks here in digital and making sure everyone here in the 5th largest nation gets a cell phone and free internet access, and our training. Pretty good.
It's huge.
I interviewed a billionaire who's got 13 incubator centers here in Pakistan. So I've met a lot of these entrepreneurs. This evening I had dinner with the guy who basically controls most of the politics here and like owns pretty much a lot of the import and export. I spoke at a conference a couple of days ago.
I saw that.
30,000, but it wasn't that high, but it was still good. And I met a lot of cool people. I met all the top YouTubers, the top entrepreneurs, the top digital marketing people, the top agencies. So pretty awesome.
Yeah. I saw you talking to the guy that's got all those really strange, nothing interconnected with one another Facebook channels, like something to do with what pigs or sheeps, and then like watches. Like he's got all these different topics that he's got channels on.
Yeah, and he has a ridiculous number of views. I think he's got 110 million views and 50,000 businesses that follow him. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I have a topic prepared for today that I think we can cover in 15 minutes.
Let's do it.
And we record this, so that way we chop it up and turn it into other kinds of content. So I used to do this, Jonathan, just every day I would record something and make a list of all the different topics that I wanted to share because of something I learned, and I wanted to get into a habit of creating content. And I would just create it by myself, usually in the middle of the night, just because it'd be the end of the day. And I, just like Rand Fishkin would, he'd force himself, no matter how tired he was, to write that blog post or make that piece of content. But I thought, well, why not do it with other people? You know, why not do it in a format where people can ask questions too? So that's where office hours came from. So let's give this a shot.
Let's do it.
So my favorite thing to do is to share my screen because we like to teach from example. A lot of people just talk about stuff, but I'd rather just show it. And we look at my feed from the last few days. You'll see I'm with the super connector of Pakistan, Rehan Alawala, and I'm tagging other people that I'm meeting. He's tagging me. Or it could be stuff like, you know, I tagged Josh Nelson yesterday for his birthday. We can see all these people are engaging, which is great, right? But then along the way, I'm interviewing other people and sharing parts of the experience. And it could be like this, you know, Rehan got banned yesterday. This guy's got 5.5 million followers on Facebook, and he got, because of his own group, posting in his own group, you know, he got in trouble for that, which is ridiculous. So I took the screenshot while we were driving back from the mountains yesterday, and that got a ton of engagement. And this post was right next to this other post I made. So it's not like you have to space them out to be a day apart, right? They're different audiences. Facebook's algorithm knows who's going to engage. So if it's two posts on the same thing at the same time, then yeah, those will overlap. Here's another one. Never let the curious child, this is him tagging me. So we're at the National Incubation Center. I don't even know what this is. I've not even seen it yet. What is this?
Super execute. Dun, dun, dun. Dennis is running away. There you go. Ooh, careful.
Oh, GoDaddy has a slide like that too. I don't know why he decided to post that, but okay, fine. This is the one that got him in trouble, got him banned. Say, hey, Dennis is in Pakistan and we want to train up all these folks and get them $500 a month. And here we are in the mountains in Pakistan. This is our group. Come join me. This is someone tagging me. Kim, who hasn't been in office hours in quite a while. This is still just a day or two ago. This is giving a webinar at Extreme Commerce, which is I think it's the world's largest group of digital marketers at 1.2 million. And this guy has 1.2 million physical students across his location. Not a group as in like people joining a Facebook group. I mean, people actually being in a facility and speaking to their group. And here it is, one of their offices, Extreme Commerce, with Rehan and their other people teaching. Let's see if I can go back a little further. Socks happen all the time. That's great. Here, 2 days ago, I interviewed a billionaire. So this guy sold his mobile company for billions of dollars, got bored of it, moved back from London to Pakistan, and started up all these national incubation centers. So I got on a great podcast. And I didn't even post this. Rehan posted this. And let's see, I spoke at a conference. So other people want to take selfies with me. This guy made me wear some glasses. These people come up to you after you speak on stage. And let's see, here's one of our 7-figure agency friends. Yawar is awesome. So I coached him on his speaking. So you see a lot of these moments just from the last few days where I literally have no time to make longer form content, to edit content, to like, that's all going to be coming. That normally comes a few weeks after doing it. So, and I'll show, that's where I want to show you. So, but what I'm first showing you is the live, raw, real-time posting of content where I don't worry about trying to space it for one per day. I don't have a calendar. I'm not using hashtags. I'm merely going for authenticity that still has something helpful and engaging enough for people to be able to engage on. I'm not doing it solely for engagement, but engagement is one proxy of relevance. So when I was
and that's on your personal one. What do you do on your business profile one, the other Dennis one?
Let's take a look. That is linked to my Instagram. So this is the one we're on right now, which is my profile.
Yeah.
This is my public figure page.
Correct.
Public figure. This one has only 18,000 followers on it instead of 150,000 or something like that. And there's similar content, but most of it is cross-posted from Instagram. So when you link your Facebook page to your Instagram business profile, so this was yesterday, there's this bridge and Rehan and Mark and I walked across it. You can't really tell, but it is a long way down. It is like you're dead if you accidentally, and I'm a little fat too. So I stepped on some of these creaky boards and I think if I put my weight on it, these rotten boards would have snapped and that would have been the end of Dennis U. But this got cross-posted from Instagram. It doesn't say that this was from Instagram. I never post directly on Facebook for the public figure page. The only time I post directly on Facebook is if it's in a group or if it's on my profile. This, you can see, this is cross-posted from Instagram. These are all boostable, of course. Here's an article that I wrote on Influencive. So that's giving us more likes, shares, and comments. Here is just some random stuff. I think this is also Instagram. There's not as many posts here. So now we're back almost a month ago now, and we've only gone 15 posts or so. But most of my Instagram is just lightweight moments because it's just posted from Instagram, right? We have the #1 best-selling book in social media for Amazon, right? That's pretty cool. My friend is spinning out in a Viper. This has nothing to do with digital marketing. This has nothing to do with trying to sell anything. This doesn't have anything to do with teaching, but what I am doing is showing who I'm connected to. And I'm trying to do it in a non-duty braggy kind of way. So if people see that I'm around other entrepreneurs that are very successful, that I'm coaching them or they're coaching me, or that, I'm giving credit to my friend Caleb, who is one of the top wealth managers on the planet and speaks now to financial advisors. I honored him in a tweet, and that tweet got 10% engagement, 2,700 on 26,000, right? So I'm teaching, but I'm also subtly saying my content gets pretty good distribution. I have 75,000 followers, so 26,000 is not bad. Of course, not many of my tweets get that far, but some do, right? So you can see this. There's screenshots. I find screenshots seem to work really well on the Facebook pages, and articles work okay. Little videos sometimes work okay, but you'll see it's not exactly the same content, but it's still kind of personal content. Let's go back to my profile. My profile is just me posting real time. I've got way more reach here because I've got 120,000 followers. This is a new feature that Facebook has unlocked for certain people where I think they call it a public profile page, or this is whatever it is, it's a blend between a profile and a public figure page because I get analytics. See, insights only occur until recently on pages, but now I'm getting actually insights on a profile, which is weird, right? So let's see this one on Josh Nelson's birthday. You can't get this on a regular profile. So you can see that the fact that 4,000 people saw it, you're not going to see that unless it's a page. A page or a profile will show you how many video views there are, but they're not going to show you raw impressions on a post. So that's kind of cool. I still can't boost because it's a profile, but Facebook's trying to do something where they want to reward people that are creators. And a creator is someone who creates content for a living. Usually they're a personality and they're a one-person kind of show. Okay, so that's the raw content. Now I want to show you the real magic. And this is something that most people, either they don't understand because they've never been in this situation, or they don't know, what to do, or, whatever it is. I'm going to show you how to go about doing this. So as you guys know, I have an iPhone, so I'm paying $10 a month for all my stuff to go to iCloud, and I'm paying $10 a month or 12 whatever, for everything to go to Amazon Photos too. So, and I'm paying $10 a month for Dropbox. So I'm paying for 4 services to store everything that comes off my phone. Not just because I'm paranoid about dropping my phone or, whatever it might be. And I want to show you how I look at capturing video on the cell phone at events and with people, and the psychology behind when I'm taking pictures, when I'm shooting vertically, when I'm making it a video, the angle that I'm using, and then how that relates into editing and how we share it with the video editors and such. So this was just earlier today. I had dinner at the rooftop of Yawar's house. Yawar Siddiqui and his 3 other brothers run RepStack, which now has 175 Pakistanis in Pakistan doing digital marketing, white label services. And this is just a simple food thing. He is serving a special dish that's made of basically bone marrow and spices. Then we are interviewing this guy here, who's a big time politician, but also believes in our cause of educating the youth. And we're going through his garden. We're in his house. He also is the chairman, I think, of British American Tobacco. And I think he owns Gillette in Pakistan and Durex and all these other sorts of products, which you'd never believe. And notice that these are all shot landscape. And this is the raw video, but there's also pictures along the way. And what people don't know about iPhone is that you can record a video. And as that video is recording, you can hit that white circle on the right side and it'll take a picture while you're still recording the video. That way you don't have to stop, then take a picture, go back to the video, right? So you can see this scene here. He's talking about this special kind of lemon that only grows here, the peacocks, all the stuff that he has inside his thing. But I'm pulling out these scenes, and this I'm pulling out as landscape because I'm playing Inception, where I'm playing chess many steps ahead. I know this is going to be B-roll. These shots are going to be inserted into stories that we talk about Pakistan or about building relationships with these key people, and we'll switch back and forth between interviewing these people, walking around in the garden. Like when you show yourself with people in multiple situations, that's subconsciously saying that you have a deeper relationship with that person, right? So when we're here earlier today, we were with the Minister of Technology. So that's basically like, when you think about the people in the cabinet, for Joe Biden. So these cabinet, this guy's in charge. I didn't get a picture with him because he didn't want to do that. But inside the building, when we walked in, we took some pictures. I think I got some of these walk-in pictures, like a walk-in video. Oh no, that's not, where's the video? Maybe it's still uploading. I think that video is still uploading. But it allows me to, once this video uploads, even if I don't have sound from it, and it's just us walking or taking the elevator to the top floor, walking past rows and rows of security and whatever it is, all the way into the big boss's office in the corner, I can still narrate over it by saying, it was an honor to meet with so-and-so, where we were trying to convince them that, we need to bring PayPal into Pakistan, or Amazon Turk needs to be allowed, or, whatever it is, right? This is one that I recorded in the nicest hotel in Pakistan, which is called the Prince Continental. It's at the top of this mountain. And I had no microphone. It was just my cell phone. And Rihan was giving me a tour. So I want to show you a few angles of how I collected this and why. And even though I didn't have a microphone, how it's actually going to be okay. So let's play this one. I'm going to walk you through what I did. And then I'm going to walk you through
Most desserts
on stage.
foreign, so
Actually, this is the second part. It's the dessert part. Oh, the first part didn't load because not all the videos and pictures will upload right away. And this is true for Google, for Apple, for Amazon. I think Dropbox is faster, but they still have a delay. That's the most maddening thing. I can force it through, but every week I'll come through. Maybe I'll just find the ones that didn't load and I'll just force them to upload. But I'd rather not. I don't have a good solution to that. Let me see if I can find another one. Let's see. This is the bridge one. So with the new iPhone, you can take pictures in 0.5, 1, and 3x. And you can switch back and forth actually while you're doing the video. When you're doing selfie mode, you have the front camera only, so you only get 1. But when you have the other ones, you can capture all these other sorts of angles, which I think are really key. Most people don't realize you really need to use all 3 of these different angles. Sometimes you want to look further away or closer in, or you have 2 people standing or interviewing each other, so you can go behind the shoulder on one of them. to bring both faces together when you're on 3x. Like this guy here, this isn't 1x, and he's on the road. We were in Kashmir yesterday, which we don't want anyone on anyone on the internet to know, because you're not supposed to be in Kashmir, right? Because that's the contested India-Pakistan thing. And this guy here, who's right on the border, was selling corn, and he sells these corns at basically like 20 cents, and he makes $5 a day, which is actually a lot of money, because Rihan thought that this guy's probably making like $2 a day or $3 a day. But he's making $5 a day, so $120 to $150 a month. And he wanted to interview this guy about how he became a micro entrepreneur, because he had to get this wheelbarrow looking thing that has this wok that has salt in it to be able to put the corn in it, and talking about what social media do you use? Are you on Facebook? Do you use Instagram? Where do you live? How did you get into this? Do you own this cart? Did you buy it? Did you assemble it yourself? And so Rihan is asking these questions, and I'll shoot this in 1x. And while I'm shooting it, I'll take pictures along the way, which is where these pictures come from. And then I'll zoom in on 3x, and you'll see what the difference is. So it's not that 1x is better than 3x, but it gives you different sorts of views. So the 3x gives you more of a cinematic background blur kind of view with the zoomy kind of lens. And it's great when you want to get in on when you want to share an expression, when there's something that's emotion, something you really need to see their face, whether they're conveying how they feel, to zooming out to the background so you can understand this guy's selling corn and it's starting to rain. And here's these tourists that are driving, because this is the road that goes into Kashmir. So tourists are coming by and they're buying corn from this guy. And I'm capturing it further back so we can see what that's like. So you can see, like, this is Kashmir. It's beautiful. It's green. There's mountains. There's this river here. The reason why Kashmir is contested between India and Pakistan is that it is supposedly the single source of water for both countries. So because both countries are dependent upon this river back here, then neither country is going to want to give in, because they both need the water from this big river, right? Then on the road there's tons of these goats and sheep and whatnot. And I'm taking pictures and videos of it because I thought it was fun, because you got to stop when hundreds of these goats are coming by. And I'm taking some of these where other people are taking pictures. I've got Mark doing this and taking videos. This is vertical. The reason this is vertical is that I'm using this intentionally for mobile, for part of like a travel vlog, to say, what is it like in different countries? And I'm kneeling down, so I'm at the level of these goats' heads. Some of these are pictures and videos. Most of them don't have sound, because I intend to put voiceover on top of it, where we have video editors that are kind of doing their thing and making it nice. This is our driver, Arsalan, and he drives a Honda CRV, basically, Pilot. He's been our driver the last week, morning till evening. He speaks decent English. He's on top of the ball. He'll go fetch coffee. He set up this MiFi device that I'm using right now to be able to connect to the internet. He's very helpful. He has an iPhone 12 and a drone. And he also is the manager of this restaurant and hotel here that his boss owns, which is called the Lemon Lounge, right up in the mountains, this beautiful resort area, and then Jesse's Burger. So this guy manages this stuff. And so Yawar gave us one of his managers. So he didn't give us just any ordinary driver, because he wanted to make sure that we were being taken care of. So he gave us Arsalan Turk as kind of our tour guide. Just, for the whole week, this guy was here. He was, calling me, making sure I was okay, getting food, making sure that the AV is set up at the venue when we were speaking, just handling all kinds of details, asking about how to get to India, where to cross. How much money do you think this guy makes as his monthly salary? This guy, Arsalan. How much money do you think he makes?
$150.
Just yell it out.
300.
$300?
Yeah.
Okay. What else? Who else has got a guess?
150.
150. Okay.
500.
500. All right.
Hey,
Any other?
Dennis, I posted in the group. What iPhone are you using here?
This is a 13 Pro Max.
13 Pro Max. Is that like a bigger iPhone than my normal size one?
Yeah, the latest iPhone's a 13. The Pro has the better camera and the Max is bigger. And the bigger one does have better battery and it has a slightly bigger screen. You can get the iPhone 13 Pro that will take pictures just as good as the Pro Max. But either way, don't do the mini, don't do the ones that's
okay, so I need the 13 Pro, but it doesn't matter whether I get the Max or not.
That's right. And I would have given you different advice a year ago, but I am a firm fanboy Kool-Aid drinking Apple person because of the camera. This camera, this is great. This is bad lighting, but look at how it compensated. And the other thing too is you want to get the one with the larger storage. So I think mine has, what is it, a gigabyte or whatever? Not a gigabyte.
Yeah, I learned the storage lesson the hard way. I always
Whatever it is,
maxed
they
out
made it
the
bigger. I
storage.
think they have like 2 terabytes now. So they made the storage options bigger. And when you're recording in 4K, like I am, you're going to be using up storage faster than you think. We used to not record, and we used to record in 1080, and you could last a lot longer, but things are going to move to 6K and 8K. So don't think that just because 2 terabytes seems like a lot today, that in a year or two from now with 5G, that 2 terabytes is going to be enough. You're going to need to move up to 4 terabytes and 8 terabytes and so forth, right? You just have to. And that's actually going to help you in SEO because higher resolution will outperform, and Google will prefer that in search. I promise you that. Google will adjust, just like Netflix adjusts streaming based on your internet speed. You just want to upload in the highest resolution possible, even if your video editors have to deal with processing larger files. Okay. So I interviewed this guy who's a billionaire, started lots of companies. That video is not showing up here because it's still uploading. So the pictures upload first in Google and Amazon. Videos, you kind of have to push them because I guess they don't want to put the bandwidth in there. Then we were with, this guy runs the NCIB. So he's in charge of all the tech startups and the Wi-Fi and the digital marketing and whatnot. And I captured, I think I got a 10-minute interview with him. And then of course, we got to have pictures with him. And this guy is a boss. This guy, I mean, how often do you get to meet with a top level politician, right? And we're wearing shorts, good grief. I felt so bad. Now, I want to point out a few things that most people are not going to realize about the art of taking good pictures. You want to take as much high quality B-roll as possible. Now, you can see Rehan is taking a picture of Mark and this guy. I forgot his name. I can't say these people's names. I feel so bad. But what defines high quality B-roll is taking a picture of the picture with as many cameras as possible in the background. I don't think people realize this. The thing that makes a B-roll high authority is having as many pictures and people in the background. I took this in 1x, not in 0.5 or 3x, because I don't want distortion of the faces. If I took it in 0.5, that would make Rehan bigger, and these guys would be small. So when you want to take, so B-roll, you usually want to take that in 1x. I took it from multiple angles. I took it from moving in video and then press the white circle so I could take pictures while I'm taking the video. I've got video of us walking in, so you can kind of tell the story of before, during, and after. Then Rehan is interviewing Yawar. So Rehan's a big deal. Rehan's such a big deal that when he interviewed Yawar and tagged Yawar in a post, Yawar gets one friend request every minute. So for the last 4 days, he's been inundated with friend requests. So that makes Yawar famous, because the best way to grow your following, by the way, on any social network is to be seen by other people who are already, you need to be tagged by other people who are big, not buying fans or followers, not running ads. That's just the best way to do it. Notice here that Rehan is using the Rode Wireless Go 2, which I set up for him. So we got it plugged here on him, and then Rehan has it too. And I'm capturing the B-roll because this B-roll is going to sync with what's on his phone. So our video editors are able to pull that together. Anyone using Adobe Pro can do that. Now I'm going to show you some of these stage moments. This is me with the former head of the CIA here in Pakistan. Don't want to mess with guys like that. So I recorded Rehan giving a speech. And notice this is 0.5, but because it's 0.5, it looks like he's really far away from the stage, right? Then when I'm shooting on stage or shooting someone speaking, I like to have 3x most of the time, because 3x gives you the depth of field so that if you stand behind the speaker, you're able to get the audience still close enough so you can see. And my favorite shot is showing the camera as B-roll with the speaker, but ideally it goes camera, speaker, screen, showing lots of people in the audience, and then audience. So this one doesn't quite, it's tough to get all these things exactly. So you have to watch and just watch and move as you're moving around on stage. Sometimes you have to get on stage. So you can see these shots here. I shot these. The only way to get this shot is to be on stage. If you're speaking, or if you have a buddy who's speaking, you're not going to get these kinds of shots from the camera in the back. or the sides. You need to be on stage. And I shot this one in portrait. I got some of them shot in landscape, some in portrait. These are all taking off of the video while he's doing the video. This is 0.5 from the back of the stage. See how far away the audience is? And he's kind of far away. This is 3x, but it's not a great shot because you don't get the full audience. What you don't want to see are empty seats. Empty seats are really bad because it shows that you're speaking to an empty audience. The vibe is not as good. So you've got to find the right angles that show the most number of people in them. And it's tough because sometimes the lighting here you can see on the left is in the way, or there's a lot of spotty parts here. I've seen it where people will take a shot like this and then fill in these empty seats with people. And it's hard to detect unless you're looking for it. Let me show you some of these other angles. I love taking ones where this is close to what I'm looking for. You can see him and then the camera and then him on the screen, but behind him. But what I want to show is a lot of people. So I'm trying these other angles. Maybe I can get it here. Maybe I can get one. This is almost a great shot, right? So you can see this is him speaking. I'm taking this in 1x. Here's the screen. There's screens on either side. Cameraman's here. So there's a cameraman on either side of the stage, and then there's a cameraman in the center. So this, what you see on the screen here is probably coming from this cameraman that's on the left. And it shows a decent shot. So that's not bad. If I was in closer, this might even be a better one. I think I do have one that's in closer. But then when I zoomed in closer, then it switched to the front camera, which is facing the stage, so I couldn't see the audience. So I'd love to show the audience if I can. By the way, this also is not an ideal picture because notice he's looking to the left and he's on the left. So if you want proper placement, he's going to be on the right. So you never want people, you want to give people enough room to be able to look, if that makes sense. But if I move this to the right, then there's that glaring light there. So there's no way to really get a good shot on this one. This one's better. So you can see if I move too far to the left, there's that huge light that just washes out everything. So here, Rihan speaking. Notice his technique with the microphone. He puts the microphone on his chin, so he always gets good audio. This guy is focused on the audience here, so it's actually not too bad. I've got the camera. I've got the big screen that shows the people paying attention. I have another cameraman here, center of the audience. I have Rihan speaking. This looks like it's a big stage, but you don't really know necessarily. So this is a pretty good shot. We could put a quote on top of it. Let's see. This is me speaking. When I'm speaking, I like to speak right up at the tip of the stage. I'm not going to hide behind the podium. I'm not going to sit down in one of these chairs. This doesn't show the other screens, so it doesn't seem quite as powerful. But if you can show screens and cameras and people, that's powerful. And then over here, it's whited out because the lighting wasn't done right, but whatever.
Does that have anything to do with your height? The reason why you don't get behind the podium or anything? I'm not making short jokes. All right, maybe I'm making short jokes, but it's a question.
The reason why you don't hide behind the podium is psychologically, that shows you that you're weak. You need to be a lion on the prowl. And the lion doesn't just stay in one spot hiding. The lion walks the perimeter. The lion will even walk among the audience. And what typically happens with speakers is, especially new speakers, is they will grip the podium for dear life because they have their notes, they're reading their notes. They don't have the confidence and the coolness to be able to just walk out on, move all the way to the other side of the stage on the left, come back to the center, address the center, move all the way to the right. And that takes some practice. Because if you just stand in one place, you're only going to be able to hit maybe, a quarter of the audience. And then how about everyone else? Because usually the podium is off to the side a little bit. If it's on the right side, what about all the other people on the left side? It's not good. There's nothing to do with being short. The reason why the podium here, let's take a look at this. See if I got a couple shots to prove this. I could be 2 feet tall. Doesn't matter. The stage is raised. So the reason the stage is raised is to give people the apparent height, because whoever's the tallest has authority, right? Because what you don't want to do is, have the speaker be way down below. I mean, unless it's like theater seating, but notice this gives us an extra 2 or 3 feet of height, and then everyone else is sitting down, which cuts down 2 feet of height. So that way his head is clearly the highest, right? But even if you're 3 feet tall, your head's still going to be above everyone else's head.
And the podium is clearly in the corner of the stage.
It's not a good place to be. Plus, it's hiding. You can't see somebody. If you can't see somebody's whole body, you can't trust them. That's why when you're doing a Zoom call, imagine, you're really good at doing whatever you do, but in a Zoom call, they can't see you. That's just, that shouldn't matter, should it? But it does. That's like, let's say you do a business deal. You're doing a business deal with somebody and everything's going really well and they love it and the vibe is awesome. And then you get up from the table, because it's not a Zoom call. You get up from the table, from the conference room, And instead of shaking, they reach out to shake your hand. You don't shake, you refuse to shake their hand. But everything else was exactly the way it should be. What's going to happen? Will that deal close?
Probably not.
Why not?
Because they can't trust you.
That's right. And for the same reason, they got to be able to see your hands here. They got to be able to see your body language. 90% of the communication is nonverbal. You know that only 10% of the communication is verbal. So you have to be on stage where they can see you, your whole body. You can't just imagine like Rihan decided to walk behind this red TV screen thing and just give his talk that way. And he said the most amazing things like he always does. Like no one would believe that. He's hiding. You can't hide. Most people hide from the audience. Their body language hides from the audience. Notice I've got an open stance. I'm not afraid, right? But I'm not trying to mansplain either. So all these things are subtle. Let's look at some of these other ones. Hopefully the video didn't upload yet. Well, there's a 7-minute video where each of these people at the table introduces themselves. And everyone here is, this is basically Rahan's inner circle. Each of these people here on average has 1 million YouTube followers, has a business that has several million people that are all doing, selling things, starting different kinds of businesses. And we went around the table and they all introduced themselves and said, but they stopped what they were doing to say everything in English just for me, right? Because I don't speak Urdu. That's really awesome. So I'm capturing this. I'm having micro interviews with each of these people. And these will all turn into social media snippets. Because we're going to go from the interview to different bits of B-roll, which can be pictures. B-roll, so if you have a video, the B-roll doesn't have to also be video as well. It can be whatever, right? I'm mentioning this stuff for you guys to know, even though you're not the video editors, because when you have a video editor that's working on your stuff and they don't know, then you have to be able to tell them why not, right? Here's more shots from when Rihan was speaking on the first day. And I was his videographer, right? He asked me to help because he knows I know how to do this. And here's a funny shot. So here he's being asked a question by this guy, and the video camera, this is the camera that's on the left side of the stage shooting. You can see this guy in the purple and Rihan. And then the person who's sitting right to the left of Rihan is me. So this is my head right here. So I'm taking a picture of them taking a video of me, which I think is kind of meta. I could like zoom in or read, the people could see that's me. I was going to turn my face to the side to see if I got another one, so people could tell it's me, like photobomb Rihan, basically. It's like being on the big screen at the baseball stadium where they're doing like fans that are kissing or celebrating, or, you get your little moment when you're on the big screen, you point up and say, hey, look, we're on the screen, right? Basketball games, they do that sort of thing. Here's another example of capturing B-roll in different angles. Now this is Mark wearing a shawarma, which is the traditional garb, because he wanted to blend in before he was speaking to, whatever. I thought that was a cool thing. And notice someone else was taking the picture, because you can see they're looking off to the side as this guy's taking a picture. But what else do you notice about the picture that I'm taking? I want to make Rihan and Mark look larger than life, so I'm taking it lower. So for short people, if you're concerned about being short, take the picture lower. It makes people look taller and skinnier and all that. The only downside is it can make your face look fatter when you take it from lower. So if you want your face to look good, take it from above. Selfies should come from above. If you want to make someone look taller and someone else is taking the picture, shoot lower. And it's subconscious. People don't really realize that this camera is being taken from waist level, but subconsciously it gives these people higher stature, and it feels like they're on stage basically when you that's why Tom Cruise loves these angles. Tom Cruise is 5'5". I'm taller than Tom Cruise, just barely. Tom Cruise has shorter actors. He has tricky camera angles to make people think that he's 6 feet tall. Tom Cruise is almost a midget. Did you know that? But because of these angles, you can make him look good. Now, let me show you what I do with Mark. Mark spoke at this conference, and there weren't that many people in the audience because it was morning or something. And in Pakistan, I guess, people don't want to get up in the morning, or, who knows? They don't start on time. There's all sorts of stereotypes in other cultures they're not as punctual as Americans are, or the Swiss are, or the Japanese are. Now, because there weren't a lot of people in the audience, look, there's not many people in the audience. Not good. This is only 4 or 5 rows back. There's like 30 rows or something. I don't want to show shots like this because when I'm shooting from the audience forward, I shot this bad shot intentionally to teach you guys, because I wanted you to see what people do and why it's wrong when they get shots at a conference. Even if you haven't spoken at a conference yet, you need to know this, because I've had so many friends where they didn't understand this. And it's like, oh, I'm speaking at this conference, I got invited to do a TED Talk or something. Okay, great. And they rush, try to put their slides together. and they're in such a hurry, or they don't have a videographer going because they just, whatever, they just end up screwing it up. And they didn't get the video or pictures, or the only videos or pictures they got were from the event organizer themselves, which is to put the stuff on the camera. And the stuff they got is not conducive to a speaker reel or their brand or whatnot, because it's shot from the back of the room where they as a speaker are a little dot, right? The larger the room, when it's shot from the back of the room, showing the audience, they're just a dot. You want to be able to show the audience and you want to show the speaker. So the only way to do that is on stage. So you've got to be able to shoot on stage and in a way to show the audience. Now, this one here is my creative way of showing that Mark is popular. How? One, I've got multiple cameras and photographers that are taking pictures. So subconsciously, we're validating that he's authoritative. Who knows what he's actually saying, right? Number two is I'm shooting this one in 3X. 3X allows the background to come closer so I can actually see his face. If I shot this in 1X, it'd be like the other shot I just showed you, where I think I took one or two in 1X just so you could see what the difference was, right? You see how 3X allows you to show the audience and bring that face up close. So if I take this shot, you can see this guy on the right is filming, right? If I move to the right just by a little bit and I line up this guy slightly diagonally with Mark, I'm able to shoot over this guy's shoulder and capture this shot. But you see, this is only possible shooting in 3X. You're never going to get this in a 1X, which is why you need the iPhone. I know the other manufacturers can sort of do it, but the iPhone just does it more seamlessly. Here's another example, 3X. Right? This is 3X in landscape instead of 3X in portrait. Now this works pretty well. And I took 3 or 4 shots of this to get this right because A, there's multiple people in the audience that are clearly interested. Mark is making an authoritative gesture. There's slides that show him and his face and all this. There's part of a screen which isn't used the way I want it to be, whatever. This is a good shot, right? This is a cover photo worthy shot. But you know what sucks with most people when they get their audience shots, because sometimes you get a room where there's 500 people and that looks good. But if that audience is just looking down on their phones or they're not really paying attention or whatever, that's really bad. Because it's like, okay, you got all the people in the room and somebody's speaking, but this guy doesn't carry enough power to carry the attention of the folks in the room. How crap is that, right? So you never want that, because then it says no one's going to listen to you, right? If, for example, you're speaking at a conference and the room is nearly empty, you don't want to show the audience at all. Instead, you're going to show shots like this. Now this, I told you that typically when you have the speaker looking in a direction, you want to have the room and have space in front of them and not space behind them, right? Because if I have him on the left and all the space is behind him, that's weird, right? But in this case, I did it because the audience was relatively small and I wanted to show it was a bigger stage. So this, and I got a camera here in the back. So these are all little elements of authority: bigger stage, camera, professional lighting, large audience, cheering crowd, panning video. Here's a shot at 0.5. See? So 0.5 makes the stage look so far away. Here's the left and right camera. I guess this is their intro. So Mark's just about to be on stage, so he's, maybe a little bit nervous. This is the event organizer. So you can see the shadow of me taking a picture of these two having a nice moment. Now, once the video uploads, you're going to see me follow Mark up on the stage while the organizer says, Mark and I, we personally know each other, and he's an amazing man. And, I've gotten to know him recently and blah, blah, blah. So those are all fantastic moments that we weave together. There's so much B-roll that I can collect from all these different shots from him speaking. Even if he's talking about a topic, his topic was Kubernetes and Google Cloud and large-scale SRE DevOps, right? You guys probably don't care about that. But if you're a Twilio or a Facebook or a big company with huge databases and servers and code to manage, then you do care about that. But even though his topic was about DevOps and containerization, because he was speaking at the developer conference part, I can still use all this stuff here as B-roll with a voiceover from him speaking from a podcast or just something that he voices over on top of something else. So the beauty of B-roll is it's very flexible, right? This is a great shot. There's this light here which illuminates the hair, which gives the sort of, radiant angel glow. Even people that are bald, they can still get this. That's why you always have that back light, which is exactly diagonally opposite to the key light, which is your main light. They have these aperture lights. You have lots of these camera people that are running around. Like, this is a good shot. This is a high authority shot. So you want stuff like this. You could put a quote here. Make it a quote card. Let's say there's something he said, like everybody should make $500 a month. You know, whatever it is, you put it over here on this background, right? You could use this in many different ways. Put it in your speaker reel, timeline cover, insert it into landing pages, cut and paste different, mix and match from other content that you have. This is all just from the last few days. And what you're seeing on my phone, this is just my phone, are pictures and videos that I've taken, mostly video, that's going to be combined in shared drives with all the other stuff that we've been taking along the way, and it'll produce some pretty incredible things. I love showing candid shots. So when the speaker or the client or my friend is talking to someone else who's important, I'm going to capture that, right? The behind the scenes, like getting mic'd up. So here he is. They're putting the headset mic on. I think that's called the Countryman. They're making sure his sound is working well. Those are all things that show high authority. Mary Henderson, who's, if you do a search on, personal branding expert, she shows up right at the very top. You're going to see that exact same thing. Let me show you. Look, people are running ads on her name. Watch this. So this will give you an insight into how people do high authority content. Okay, what's she doing? Lots of lights. There's a picture of her. There's professional cameraman. Ooh, fancy, very expensive camera. Look, there's a director, and there's Mary there. There's lots of different screens. She must be very important. Someone's in a director chair, and they've got the sound on the boom pole, right? And then Mary is there as the big star, right? Funny thing is, I don't think she's even, I think this might be just B-roll or whatever it is, where they just put her. I bet you we could take this whole thing and put your face there where it's her face, kind of like the fake Zoom background thing. But do you see like why people see this as being important? For the same reason you see podcasters who like to have these ridiculous mics in front of their face. It makes them feel like they're important because there's all this equipment. I like to hide the equipment on podcasts. Yeah, there you go. That giant thing covering your face. Maybe you have bad teeth. You don't want people to see your teeth. I mean, yeah. So Jonathan, you do want to have the thing up close to your mouth, within 12 inches of your mouth to get good sound. Let's see, what else do we have? This is Mark being silly. You wrapped a towel around his head. He's in the wrong country for that. Let's see what else. We went to, there was a concert as part of this. This is one of the top YouTubers in Pakistan. He's got 110 million views and teaches people how to do graphics design. And he teaches it in Urdu. I interviewed him too. I don't think the video shows up. Let's see if is the video here? I could show you why I got the video in a certain way. Oh, here's another one. This guy, Amir, is a designer, and he's been working for me for 7 years, every day, doing a great job. And I met him for the first time just a couple days ago, which is really awesome. And he was just really happy. I was super happy to meet him because this guy is the one who's produced most of these presentations that you've seen, right? These documents, this guy is the one who's done them. And he started out making a couple bucks an hour. I think he makes $10 an hour now, $12 an hour, something like that. Right. And while I was interviewing this guy, Imran, who's the one in the white, this guy is the one, anyone who does graphics design in Pakistan, they basically worship this guy. So while Imran and I were having a chat, I interviewed him for a few minutes. All these other people were starting to crowd Imran because they all wanted to be around this guy because he's the guru. His name is his mentor. And while there was that crowd, I told the crowd to wait. I said, wait. And I called Amir up and I said, Amir, I want you to take a picture with Imran. So I held the crowd up so that Imran and him could have a picture and talk for a minute. And that was something amazing because this guy, Amir, learned how to do graphics design from this guy. And I was able to arrange time for him to meet his mentor. How cool is that, right? And interview these guys. And I interviewed Amir too. I said, Amir, what was your, what have you learned along the way? What advice do you have for somebody who would like to be like you and maybe get a client in America who can pay you more than 50 cents an hour, right? Who could pay you $10 an hour even? What do you need to do? How do you get your skill? So we've got lots of these great stories along the way. And then when it was time for me to speak, I called I called Amir up on stage and said, Amir, tell everybody what is the opportunity for our friends here in Pakistan. And that was the first time he ever spoke on stage. Fantastic, right? So we're capturing all these moments. It could be from the sugarcane guy, right? There's a freaking sugarcane guy on the side of the road. You pay him 30 cents and there's this,
What do you think? It's sweet. Yeah. Nice.
like lawnmower thing. Look at this thing here. He just sticks, it's like a mulcher thing. I don't even know what these things are. Look, he just sticks these things in and it squeezes the juice out of it.
Yeah.
This guy makes $100 a month. That's his salary for doing this. There's pollution on the side of the road because this thing's right on the side of the road. right? Pulled on the side of the road to get this thing, right? And we're just this is just a short moment. You could tell it it's a 15-second story and put it on TikTok, Instagram Reels. Oh, when you walk out from arrivals after a freaking 26 hours of flying and being all jet lagged, you feel like you're a celebrity. Look at how many people are here waiting, all just waiting for you. So I'm capturing this, right? This is a 0.5. Of course, they all want to offer you a taxi and they want to rip you off. And we did get ripped off. I think we paid $20 to get to our hotel. And later we found out it should have been like $1.50. But whatever. I mean, it was worthwhile. It was a 45-minute drive. I mean, sure, $20. And then we took an Uber the next day. And like basically every Uber ride cost us 200 rupees, which is $1. And then we went to from Islamabad to Rawalpindi for an event and came back, which was a whole day and cab ride. And I made the cab driver wait the whole time because he wanted to. And it was like $3, whatever. See, I'm capturing, this is my jet lag view after 26 hours of flying and no sleeping. I worked on the plane because they had Wi-Fi. You can see this is in Doha just a few days ago. Super rich oil city. This is a giant gift box that you can go in and buy toys for your children, shaped like a giant gift box. This place has air conditioning outside. I made a video about the air conditioning outside.
Here in Qatar, air conditioning in the streets. These grills are all air conditioning units. So it's 120 degrees outside. It's actually nice and cool.
That's it, right? Isn't that neat? I'm just capturing these moments. Nothing special, nothing fancy. Just like that. And I think that's the best way to build your brand, showing moments like that. So when you are able to collect, just like I did, because you're on the go, you're busy, you have meetings, you're tired, you don't have time to edit. You don't have time to put things into folders and label them. You just need to be able to collect it in such a way that someone else like a VA can grab it from your Amazon photos and automatically be able to edit it and whatnot. So that's what we have going on. So I just wanted to share that part just to show you that you don't need a camera crew. You just need an iPhone and some kind of microphone to be able to collect the video. Learn how to use the iPhone. That rear camera where you have the 3 cameras, the 0.5, 1, and 3x, being able to shoot in different ways, the angles that you're going to shoot. When is B-roll versus A-roll? When do you shoot portrait versus horizontal, right? Vertical, right? Versus landscape. It's important to know that because you're going to build your brand in video from here on out, right? It's all video. Whoever makes video is the one that wins. And we're even with whoever, like the prime minister, and he's getting on the internet. And Rihan was able to convince him to get on Facebook, right? Everyone, it's not too late. It's just starting. And the funny thing is that in some ways, Pakistan is ahead of us because I probably took 300 selfies in the last week at this conference. All these people came up, maybe because I'm a foreigner and most people have never seen a foreigner. So they all want to take a picture, whatever. But think about the opportunity here. Think about maybe, is there some takeaway or aha that you got from seeing what I shared, right? We like to practice what we preach. I'm not just telling you, I literally showed you. I didn't give you a PowerPoint. I literally showed you how I do it. So I got to run in a minute because it's 2 a.m. and I'm exhausted, but I want to share this with you guys and see, what do you think? Love to hear your thoughts. Mark, you're nodding. What are you nodding about?
Yeah, sorry I missed the first part of your call. Yeah, no, it's exactly it. Go video.
Yeah.
$1 a day.
Yeah. $1 a day won't work if you don't collect the video because you could have the best knives and all that, but if you don't have the ingredients, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Got to make the video.
Yeah, even what you showed 2 weeks ago with Twitter, I had another training session yesterday where a whole different way to use Twitter to find your ideal clients. Like literally, I had no idea you could search Twitter.
Yeah.
So you want to find somebody that needs what you offer, just search people looking for what your specialty is, and you have a whole list of clients right there. Just start engaging.
Yeah. If you're an attorney, you could search for people that got in a car accident and look for it. It's super easy to do. It still works. Yeah.
Super.
Twitter is actually the best for targeting. All the other networks have killed off the targeting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, really cool. Love this stuff.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Jorge, you were going to say something.
Yeah, Danny, thank you so much for sharing. I have been following you on all the posts that you're doing, basically trying to understand the psychology behind every post you're doing. I have 2 questions for you. One is, I see that most of the content that you're creating is mainly on your personal profile and not on your public figure. I am kind of confused on that one because as you cannot put the $1 a day on your personal one, why you mainly focus on doing more content on your personal instead of your public figures so you can add money to that?
That's a good question. So in terms of what I'm posting, so I am the best use of my time, and same for all of us, is to be the content creator and the figurehead, not editing, not posting, not repurposing, not any of the roles in the content factory except for phase one, which is content production. So the fact that all this video and all this raw material is being collected, now our video editors are going to come in and process, and they will post on the public figure page. That might be months later. It might be several years later, but it's totally okay. So don't think that, you have to post at the same time. Most people get themselves all screwed up because they think, well, Dennis says that we have to hire these video editors and we have to have this whole process and this content factory. So then they never post anything because they think it has to go through this whole editorial cycle. Everything I showed you on my Facebook in the beginning, I just posted raw with zero editing so I'll take that raw content I can use many different ways, which is the whole point of repurposing. I'm able to get the immediate impact by posting raw on my profile, but then as it's being edited, it goes into blog posts. It turns into my Facebook page. It goes to Instagram. It goes to other sorts of places. So you get this chain reaction effect. So it's not like I only wait to the end, and it's not like I only post raw. I'm able to get the best of both worlds, but
Gotcha.
I need to make sure it gets out immediately because it could, the timing of the moment, because of the nature of conversations and when they happen during events, like during this big event, it was important that I needed to get something out there because that's when people are looking at you. That's when people are meeting you. That's when the other speakers are there. That's when, whatever. So there's a mix of things that are immediate versus later, right?
Beautiful. And now I understand more clear what you're doing. And the second question comes behind that one. As you do that, as you're creating that content with your, like a live experience of your day, why you choose to take the video on your phone, upload it on the different drive and places, and then publish instead of doing it live? Why you make the video and then you post it? Why you don't make it live on one shot? Well, there's any reason why?
Yeah, because live is when you expect to engage with people live. Live creates notifications for other people. If you do a live that's only 1 minute long, that doesn't give people enough time to join, right? Lives, according to Facebook and people that I know that do a lot of lives, need to be 15 to 20 minutes in order to give people enough time to come in, and you're going to engage with the live. Why would you do a live if you're not going to do that? Unless you're Mark Zuckerberg and you set up the camera as you're grilling and people just watch you grilling and you never interact. It's like, okay, if you're a celebrity and you have a huge audience, the other reason is most entrepreneurs have no audience. So if your regular organic posts, which may last 8 to 12 hours or however long, get hardly any engagement, how much engagement do you think you're going to get with zero notice on a live that goes for 20 minutes? Most of us don't have a big enough audience that going live is going to draw enough people in to make it worthwhile. There is one legitimate reason to go live beyond the obvious ones like you're a celebrity, you have enough audience or whatever, and that is to force content creation. Sometimes people will just make all these excuses, and the way to bust through that is, you know what, we're just going to go live, just like a podcast, just like any regular conversation, and then there's no need to script out everything perfectly. But the trouble with doing that is that a lot of lives tend to be wandering, and the people that do lives don't know how to speak clearly. So it's very hard. You can always say, oh, well, the video editors will try to figure it out and make it better and make, like, no. Reality TV on whatever your favorite channel is, Parking Wars or, some storage units or like whatever the thing is that people, reality, all these people, the MTV Real World, they get angry and they fight. There's some kind of drama, right? Those are all scripted. You know why? It's because if they were just live following people and just hoping stories would happen, if literally they just set up all the cameras and just let's just say that the MTV Real World thing where all these random people live in a house and you expect them to eventually like fight over something, right? If you just allowed it to happen naturally as it would be and let it go for a week or two, you're not going to have a story. It's just going to be boring, right? It's just going to be like, somebody comes down and drinks chocolate milk. Somebody didn't, flush the toilet. People, they have a chit chat about, oh, I went to the grocery store. Really? Was anything on sale? So there's a song that goes da 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 da. And I was sitting on the corner, and you think like something dramatic's about to happen. Like, no, I was sitting in the corner. I went inside. This man looked like he was gonna buy a coffee, but he didn't buy the coffee. And then and it's raining. And it's like, This whole song goes on with the anticipation of something about to happen. Nothing happens. And that's what happens with people that think they're going to go live. Unless you're a pro level public speaker, I know this is unpopular advice. I say don't go live. Going live means you're going to attract a live audience right then. How lame is it if you go live and you have no audience? Other people can rewatch your live and see you have no audience. You're a loser now. If you can't get engagement organically on a regular post, why would you go live? That's even harder.
Perfect. I actually did what you said before. I obligate myself to do some live just to get out of the excuses and just jump and do the video, and that's it. That was the main reason I did it. But I didn't think about all the other stuff that you are telling right now. I actually bought the software called OneStream, allows me to do one video and it's shared in different like 10 places at the same time. But now I don't know if it was a good investment on that tool, because it won't be like a good idea to do that.
I mean, there's something to be said about like a restream or what's the other one? I mean, even Zoom has integration where you can stream on Facebook and LinkedIn at the same time. But let me ask you, I mean, of people that do the Zoom and push it out to all these different channels and whatever, I've seen this hundreds of times. I've almost never seen anyone get any traffic. They're like, we're live in 13 places. Yeah, you have 2 viewers in total across those 13 channels. Doesn't matter. Can you get traffic? What do you need to do to drive traffic? That's what matters. It's not because you went live. You know, unless you're like some news reporter and you're on the scene right now at the accident. No, it's vanity. That unless you really are, you're a great singer and people want to come listen to you live. I see a lot of people go live, and you know what happens? You probably do this too. You're scrolling and it says, oh, so-and-so, Maria Lovato is live, but you don't want to click in it because it says 0 people watching, right? Actually, it doesn't say 0 people. It'll say, if there's 0 people watching, it says live. If there's 1 person watching or 2 people watching, it'll say 2 people watching. And so you don't want to go in, because if you go in, then they're going to notice that you came in. And if they suck or whatever, you have to leave. So you don't want to have the shame of leaving. So you don't want to go in. And it sucks because I've been in these ones where there'll be a friend of mine and I didn't know any better. And I'll jump into their live and they'll call me out saying, oh, hey, Dennis, welcome to the show. And I'm thinking, I'm the only viewer that you have. Why are you acting like you're announcing this thing in front of so many people? And then it'll say, live, 1 person watching. Oh, that's me. So if I leave, they go to 0. I guess I have to stay for a little while, maybe until a couple more people come, and then I can leave. So that's what happens with 99% of lives. Nobody's there. Okay. If anyone has anything different, I'd love to hear. But I've seen this. It's very sad. Don't go live unless you have an audience. I'm sorry. Yes, there's billions of people on social media, but it doesn't mean they're going to watch you. Okay. Same thing with TikTok. I won't name the guy, but someone who's very well known, well, not very well known, pretty well known in the world of online advertising. He went live on TikTok and I was in the toilet or whatever. So I clicked on it just for fun, just to see like what he was saying. And he had 2 people, me and someone else. And he's a smart guy. If I mentioned his name, you probably know who he was, but he continued to go on, and I left, of course, and came back. And I looked back later just to see, and he was still going live 40 minutes later. And then I saw his TikToks, and because he's trying to claim that he's a TikTok ads expert. And I looked at his last lives and they all have like no.
I think he disconnect.
He's gone.
Yes.
He must have passed out.
That must have been his ending.
Yeah, we just lost him. Yeah. Let's see if he comes back.
So one of my VAs that I've worked with for quite some time, he works out of Pakistan. And one of the consistent issues is that their infrastructure is just not consistent. So effectively, their internet drops consistently on and off, and sometimes it'll last for hours. So he might come back quickly. He might not come back at all. So anyhow, it's good to see you guys. Happy Wednesday, team. And you guys are doing great as always.
You do. Take care. Take care. Okay. I am happy because I got some answers to what I was looking for. I was very confused on why he was getting most of the content on the personal instead of the public figure. And now I finally understood. He's back?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, we hear you.
I'm on my phone now. I guess we went so long, my laptop died.
No battery?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been away the whole time in meetings. So my laptop didn't have any power. Now I get to go to bed. It's 2 a.m. and I'm going to start tomorrow morning and go to Lahore. All right. Cool.
Awesome insight, Dennis. So thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you so much. Yeah, very clear information.
Yeah.
Very valuable.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Dennis.
All right.
Safe
Good
travels,
night.
man.
Enjoy your trip.
Appreciate
Take care.